when I look at Instagram and I see the Instagrams of Shannon and Mike specifically, because these guys, their Instagrams are always loaded with pictures of them with their kids or their kids doing stuff, I realize I never take a freaking picture. And on Friday when I was at the Mud Hens game, and we were sitting there at the game, and Luke and I were having like the best time. Like we were literally laughing and having a great time, and he was sharing with me. I've never seen anybody know statistics like this guy knows. And it's funny because I said if baseball or Tigers baseball specifically were a class in school, Luke would be the A student in that class, because I've never seen anybody that knows like crazy stuff. Like he could actually be a statistician for Bally Sports and hang out with Matt Shepard in the booth giving him stats, because he knows all the stuff. Like I asked him like where a player went to college or what was going on, and he's like, well, he went to Vanderbilt and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, how do you know this? Like I have to Google all this stuff. Mm-hmm. But we were there the whole game, and at the end of the game, as we're walking out, and we left, we finally, how you walk out like right where the what's it, the hen shop? What do they call that? The hens, the Mud Hens gift shop that they have. The hen den, or I don't know what the hell they call it.
Swamp shop.
Swamp shop.
Yeah.
So we walk out that way, and I go, Luke, hold on a second. Let's take real quick. Let's go back in and take a picture. And he goes, we're not going back in and take a picture. I want to take a picture. I'm like, no, we didn't get a picture. And he then said he agreed. Okay, I'll try. Well, they wouldn't let us back in because we had already left. So no re-entry into the stadium. And as I was driving home, I'm like, I didn't get any pictures at all at the game. And you guys are like always taking pictures. I mean, I look at social media that you guys have, and Cecily has documented probably a ton in your phone, Mike. You probably got a million photos of her doing stuff. Shannon, you too. You got a million photos. I mean, you got, I don't even know what you got, but you got a ton. I think you even saw this weekend, like Smith just eating a pancake or something like that.
I think I have more pictures of my dogs than you have of your kids.
Oh, no, I'm really feeling horrible.
Way to pile on.
Yeah. Sorry. But you know the opportunity, I seized it.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
You didn't think about taking a picture because you were like, don't beat yourself up. You were having such a great time with Luke. So the thought didn't cross your mind because you were really engaged and you were just having a good time with him.
But how do we know we were having a great time if we don't have the picture of it?
Well, what I'm saying is,
I realize
like, that's really important as well, to be very present in the moment and not always be thinking about photos.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, because I really do feel like we went to Boston to the Red Sox game. I have 2 pictures from the entire weekend in Boston.
You're not a big photo guy anyway, though.
No.
I mean, you don't.
Not at all.
I mean, you don't take selfies. You don't take pictures of where you're at. You just go.
But I want him to,
remember those moments.
I want him. If I die, I want him to be able to look at that. And here's one of the big reasons why. One of the only photos I have of my dad that is a photo of my dad and myself is us riding on bicycles. And the rest of the photos that are with my dad are not really like me and him specific. Mm-hmm. They're like, my brothers and sisters, or Christmas or whatever it is, and everybody getting a photo or whatever the deal is.
But you also
and so I kind of like was looking at that going, Jesus, I can't do it with. I would love to have a photo of my dad. My dad took me to 1 baseball game our entire lives. Yeah. Now this was pre iPhones.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It wasn't just like at your fingertips. In the olden days when you grew up, you had to actually
we had Polaroid cameers. Yeah. Actually, we used to draw.
They had Renaissance painters actually.
But honestly,
but I get what you mean.
I told Luke this when we were driving home, because I told him, I said I felt bad about it, and he was like, Dad, don't worry about it. When you're dead, I will know who you are. All right, I'll know all this stuff. But I remember specifically that game that my dad took me to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will never forget that. My dad was not a sports guy, and he got tickets from a friend, and he was so excited to take us to this. It was a Chicago White Sox game. And they were playing the Detroit Tigers, so coincidentally enough. So look at my history of now being in Detroit for as many years as I have.
And I'll tell you, you want to take the pictures not just for him, but for you when you get older, to be able to look back. I love looking back now that Natalie's in college in a way, and I get to talk to her maybe once a week, or we text more often. But I love being able to look at those old photos and remember those times. So it's definitely you definitely want to try to, just because even though you might not want to have the picture right now, you'll want it later.
I bought peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I know that sounds corny, but I bought them because my dad went to the game and my dad wanted peanuts and Cracker Jacks because the song said, buy me some, take me out to the ball game, buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. And my dad literally during the 7th inning stretch stood up and held up the box of Cracker Jacks and the bag of peanuts. And it was kind of like a moment. And so I did it, and I did the same thing with Luke when it was the 7th inning stretch at the Mud Hens game on Friday. And he said, Dad, put those down. I was a little embarrassed. But Monica, what's going on? It's Mojo in the morning.
Hi, I was just calling in to tell you to save like your ticket stubs, if they still give you ticket stubs. I used to do that when I was younger, even with movies as like a keepsake. Like pictures are great, and I've learned that pictures are so important, but ticket stubs are a cool way too.
Yeah, no more ticket stubs anymore. It's kind of a bummer. Everything's on your phone now.
Because I have over 1,000 ticket stubs. I've gone to a million concerts. And now everything's on your you scan on your phone.
Yeah, but that's a cool idea. It'd be nice to like make like a display of all the games that I've ever taken them to. Yeah. One of the things that Luke and I do have, Monica, which is kind of cool, is that he and I are kind of like notching off baseball stadiums that we've been to. So we're kind of like trying to complete the feat of going to all these baseball stadiums.
That's awesome. My dad is kind of wanting to do that too. So we're working on it too.
That's awesome. That's a great thing.
Do you have a picture of you and Luke at each of the stadiums?
I don't. No, I don't. It's weird to say that too. Like I have like some of the big ones, like when we went to Wrigley and Fenway. I do have the photo of us on the Green Monster, but I don't really have like a ton of those. But what I did was I started like collecting the team stadium logos. Like the teams stadiums all have logos. Like Comerica Park has a logo and stuff. But so I can make like a display thing
or like a book or something, like a picture book.
What's up, Deshaun?
Yo, buddy.
How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing awesome, man. Beautiful day. But yeah, Mojo, I'm with you, man. I ain't gonna say I'm with you, but the importance of pictures is very important. I don't even do that. My wife does all that stuff. And she reminds me every time, you're never going to get these memories back. I don't know how special the game was to you, but yeah, it's definitely important. I still got that problem. Probably because when I was a kid, I don't have a lot of photos of me and my parents. I don't, none at all. Not even as adults. So.
Yeah, it's funny. I took one photo at the beginning of the game, and it was a photo of that Riley Green guy, because Luke actually made this point. He's like, the reason that Luke was so excited to go see him play was because one day if those guys are like the next future of the major leagues, we'll say, hey, we saw them in the minor leagues. So I took one photo and that's all I got. And it's kind of blurry. So, but Deshaun, you guys start taking some photos, my friend.
I'm horrible at taking pictures. Man.
What photos do you have in your phone? Please tell me you don't have a bunch of D-pics in your phone, because that would be really bad.
No, all the phones. No, I stopped taking D-pics when I was 22. But anyway.
How about food pics? You got food pics? If you look at my phone, what my phone is? My phone is? My phone's pictures of like cheeseburgers. My phone is pictures of like a pizza topping, ranch.
I got all pictures of all the food I cook.
Isn't that funny? We spend more time taking pictures of the food we cook and not the kids that we gave birth to. What's up, Zena?
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, Zena.
Good morning.
What's going on, Zena?
I actually have a voicemail that I saved from my father-in-law, and I actually just got married to my fiance this summer. We've been together 7 years. And his father passed away 4 years ago. And after, our dances, we did a dedication to Mick. And I played his voicemail, and it's the first time that really any of his family or even my husband's mom had heard his voice, and since he had passed away, and kind of, really touched everybody at our wedding. And
gotta save that stuff.
It was like, saying he's proud of me. And we had our son at that point, and saying, how beautiful he is and how he can't wait for us to have more kids. And we did end up having more kids before we got married. And it was just a beautiful moment at our wedding for everybody to hear his voice.
Isn't that great that you had that? I have my dad's voicemail messages talking about his bowel movements. I played him on the air before. Yeah, and Mike actually has. Don't you have audio of your dad too from stuff?
Yeah, I do, and that's why same as you. That's kind of why I go over the top with all the stuff that I take. Like I even set up a couple emails for the kids, and I send stuff that I don't even post. And then when they turn 18, I'm gonna give them the login info, and then I'll have all this stuff, like pictures that I just said, like random things. I think you could do it with anybody. I mean, you could do it right now, Mojo, if you wanted to. You could just set up emails for your kids and then send them, and then one day give them the password for it, and then they can open up and see all these moments, all these moments in time that at once, and literally go through it.
Not to be, because that's beautiful that you do that. But what service are you using? Because what if it goes away? Like what if
I was Gmail. I don't know.
Oh, they won't go away. Google owns the world.
Yeah.
But I
right.
If it's just if
it was
universe.
AOL, yeah,
you might think about
switching. I set up a MySpace for her. I'm hoping to show her someday.
All right. What's going on, Jacob?
Hey guys, how are you?
We're all right, Jacob. What's going on with you?
So when I was in high school, I got really sick. I used to wrestle, and I got MRSA. It's pretty common in the wrestling world. And I ended up in the hospital. And when I was in the hospital, I technically died for like 5 or 6 minutes, and they had to revive me.
Wow.
And while I was there, when I finally got out of the hospital, I was on a lot of antibiotics and whatnot, and I wasn't allowed to leave or go outside or anything for like 3 or 4 months because they feared that I might get sick again and it could happen again. Well, during that time, my dad seen how crazy it was driving me to just be cooped up inside 24 hours a day and whatnot. So when my mom left for work one day, he actually snuck me out and took me to the movies. And ever since then, I've actually kept that ticket stub for the movie in my wallet with me.
Just to remember that day.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a big moment for you. And thank God you didn't die, right?
Right, yeah.
That's really scary.
And you should try to use that movie stub again when you go to the theater and see what they say.
Tell them your story. Yeah.
Tell them that
you had some of their popcorn and almost died.
From Mersala. What is it? What did you say?
MRSA.
MRSA. Oh, okay.
MRSA. Evil witch in Little Mermaid.